everybody. I wanted to start by saying, has anyone here had an 11-pound baby in 8 minutes? Because I'm about to deliver one, and I'm sweating right now, because what I want to talk about is kind of big. I want to talk about a wake-up call that I had 2 years ago, and by wake-up call, it suggests the fact that I was asleep. And I fell asleep in my life for several years, and my robot arms come out, because the robot arms represent what I thought I should do, who I thought I should be, what kind of a mom I should be. I should be a corporate person. I should do this. And it really ignored a nagging feeling that was dogging me my whole life, which was there was something more for me. And so I didn't pay attention. And that's my first rule for anyone I meet is pay attention, first rule. And I didn't. And guess what happens when you don't pay attention? Life gets messy, right? It starts to sneak in. Mine showed up in several explosions. So my life beautifully blew up over a course of 5 years. And it blew up in losses and gains that equally felt as devastating and bewildering. They showed up in 2 losses of people that I loved dearly, 2 job layoffs, in 2 economic meltdowns, 2 lawsuits, that happened too, and then the biggest explosion of all, 2 boys. Who here has small boys, right? Motherhood, right? Huge explosion. And I was sitting amongst the rubble of my life going, I didn't know who I was, I didn't know where I was, I didn't know what I wanted. I almost felt like I was just starting from scratch, which was kind of liberating actually, because when you don't have anything, well, here's the thing, I actually went to go reach for the stuff that was familiar, but it didn't fit me anymore, because moments like that grow you. You don't even know what's happening. They stretch you, they change you. And when I went to go try on the old suit, it was like, fat guy in a little coat. Like, that was what my slide was, but they're not working, so technology is telling me to just... And it was like nothing fit, right? Like, the beliefs were just too limiting. The expectations, I didn't want to put them on myself anymore. And I thought, oh my gosh. I was given the support. I reached out to a few people and asked for help because I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I want to try and do something for myself and do the whole oxygen mask thing. But who's really doing that? I just felt like we were talking about it. We're all talking about we should do that. Yeah, we should get on that. And I thought, well, what if I did that? What if I started creating something for myself? Is that even possible? And when I gave myself permission to consider that possibility, 3 words came into my life: daring to suck. Somebody said to me, I was learning how to coach. I was taking coach training because it was like my new thing that I thought maybe this is what I've been told to do. And it totally was. My people were all there and it was very, very cool. And when I was there, somebody said, Keri, I dare you to suck. You're trying to make it look too good and get messy. Maybe your messy is the very thing that your clients need. And I thought, well, that was cool. But imagine if I took this into my life. Like, what would that be like? What if I dared myself to try things that I was just interested in or piqued my attention or like got my interest? And so daring to suck essentially is being authentic. It's telling the truth, but it's telling my truth. And each of us are delivered into this world with like a thumbprint of unique truth. And we get a choice whether to speak it or not. So I was daring to speak mine and follow that internal navigator. And what happened was I had no idea. I thought it was just kind of a funny thing. I'll do this and I'll blog about it. And my life totally went from existing in my life, and just like the robot arms, to living. I was experiencing real present moments all the time. Every moment became a learning experience. So without the failure didn't exist because my efforts I guess I was more committed to the effort as I was to the outcome. And it just opened everything up. It changes everything. Because then you celebrate every step, every phone call, every time you ask for help, every conversation. You're like, wow, where is this going to take me? And it brought me to these crazy opportunities, these amazing experiences. Talking in front of you right now, that's what it's brought me. This is nuts. Like 2 years ago, I was not my real self. So this is a trip. This is very cool for me. And I hold that for people now, that when you dare to do that, it's like that instinct that hooks into something that's kind of in front of you. it knows something that you don't, and we don't trust it often enough. And that's what I want us to start doing. I'm living it. I changed my whole life, not just my physical body, but my internal body. And what happens is I'm filling my cup up constantly. And I did the oxygen mask, and I thought people were going to think I was going to be an ungrateful mother or that I didn't like my kids. But what ended up happening is I became a way better mom, happier, a way better partner. My husband was so glad I showed up, and he's like, I didn't know you were going to show up this much, right? Like, whoa, but it was really good, really good. It's changed everything. I'm going to end on a story from my honeymoon that demonstrates this in a very big way. I was on a horseback riding trip in Australia, honeymoon, amazing experience, and I had this dream in my head that we were going to gallop down the beach like on a Tampax commercial. It was going to be awesome. And we got down to the beach, and there was no galloping. It was like helmets, liability waivers, and I was like, shit. Oh, and I started to be like, oh, it's not going to happen. And then that voice, that thing was like, no, you gotta say the thing, you gotta do this. And it's like, party is like, oh, why do I gotta listen? Okay, fine. You know, I go up and I'm like, oh, can I take Stella, the name of my horse? She was beautiful. Can I take Stella for a run? I'm really experienced, which I wasn't. And, it was awkward being authentic to that voice. And the woman, it was awkward. She was like, and I was like, shit, if she says no, I'm totally going anyway. I was like, take me to jail, I don't care. And she said, oh, okay, yes. And as soon as she said yes, we were off. And I know in reality I was holding on to the reins, but man, in my mind, we were like this. I've never felt like that before in my life. Stella and I were the truest, most purest, expansive form of ourselves in that moment, and I really got that. It was like a spiritual experience, to say the least, and I was so glad I asked. And I know that there were a few people on there. I got that sense that they were like, I wish I'd asked too. And it was just incredible, right? It was a full body experience. That is what's possible. It's in those little moments. It's sneaky, so pay attention. So that's my rule. I'm going to ask you all to pay attention. Just start paying attention and dare to say the thing, do the thing, speak up when no one else is talking, right? It is super awkward. Nobody wants to be like superstar, authentic, even though they're like, oh, you look like you're having a great time. And I'm like, I am. It feels really good to be really connected to myself and really committed to me and knowing that I'm serving in a much better place. But I offer them, you want a taste? And they're like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm all full. That looks good for you. But something we all intrinsically want, to be able to fully express ourselves. But it comes at a cost. Not everybody might like you. We're not here to be liked, right? And that's, sorry, I just got the X. It's a little intimidating. But we're not here to be liked, right? We're here to fully express who we are. And so if you leave with anything today, I want to leave you with that possibility that that voice knows something that you don't, and I dare you to trust it. Thank you.